Hello and welcome to Library Connection. I'm your hostess, Mandi Cantrell. I'm Youth Services Director at the B.B. Comer Library, and I just want to take a second to thank the TV station for allowing us to let the community know the different activities and programs we have going on. And we also like for the community to get to know some of our friends of the library. And one of our dear friends is my guest today. This is Mrs. Thelma Evans. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
She is very involved in our brown bag program. She makes a delicious caramel cake. I can tell you that. Brings it to brown bag and helps with all the activities, helping people. So we appreciate what you do for us at the library.
Well, I enjoy doing it.
Good. We are glad you're there, very active in our programs. And today we just want to talk a little bit about this is your life, Thelma Evans. That's what we talked about before we came on. So just start by telling us where you grew up. Are you from this area?
I grew up in Coosa County, Marble Valley, on the farm. And of course we picked cotton, we raised corn, whatever we ate. I went to school at Wilkufka for my 12 years of school.
Okay.
And then after I graduated from Wilkufka, I went to Auburn. And I was there for, well, of course, 4 years.
Right.
Got my degree in medical technology. Had to work my way through school. We didn't have money back then.
Oh, okay. So you were working and going to school.
Yes.
Very difficult, I'm sure, but you made it. You did it.
I made it.
Good. So when you finished, I thought this was a neat story. Now you met your husband at Auburn, is that correct?
I met my husband at Auburn. He was in radio school there. He was a cute little sailor.
Oh, a sailor.
Yes, he was in radio school. Auburn had a program where they taught the Navy guys radio. So he was a radioman when he went into the Navy then. And after he left there, we did not correspond.
Okay. You were still in school.
I was a freshman.
Okay.
And he was a little more serious than I was, but I was there for an education, not for a boyfriend.
Oh. But then you finished and moved away.
I finished and moved away. I went to Ohio and worked in a hospital there in Zanesville, Ohio. The reason I went to Ohio, my brother, who had graduated from Auburn 3 years prior to that, was a textile engineer, and he worked for Goodyear in Akron, and I wanted to be near him.
Yes. Okay. So now you have one brother anymore?
I had one brother. He's deceased. Okay. I have one sister. She's younger than me.
Okay. And now that you've said that, I'll have to say you had a birthday last week.
I had a birthday last week, and I think everybody knows how old I am, thanks to Dr. Ted.
Dr. Ted Spears likes to brag on his friends, doesn't he? Or embarrass his friends. Maybe.
I think he likes to embarrass his friends.
Well, we are very proud. Do you mind if I tell them how old you were?
I do not mind.
92 years old. And we are very proud to have you with us. That's exciting. Did you have some parties and things to go along with that?
Oh, my church, Grimes Chapel Baptist Church, gave me a surprise party. It was a total surprise. I did not know it was going to happen. And then, of course, they sang happy birthday. I think I had a birthday that lasted for a whole week.
Oh, maybe it's your birthday week. That's great, though.
I had people invite me out to lunch every day. And,
wonderful.
I mean, it was a busy week. It was fun.
That's great. You can do it again when you're 93 next year, or even before, maybe.
Anytime.
That's great. Well, we'll get back to, you've just moved to Ohio to be with your brother, but now your boyfriend, or the man that you married, is overseas right now? Or?
No, he's out of the Navy. He's back this is 5 years later from when I met him.
Oh, okay.
He is at the University of West Virginia working on a degree, engineering degree.
Okay, all right. How in the world did you get together? He's in West Virginia and you're in Ohio.
And I get a letter
in
the mail that was sent to my address when I was a freshman at Auburn. The letter was forwarded to my mother, and she forwarded it to me.
Oh my goodness!
So I get the letter. It's from this cute little sailor guy that I met at Auburn, and I answered the letter. So the next weekend he was there.
Came to visit you.
He came to visit every weekend, and
Wow.
so
It's quite a drive. For
well,
him.
actually, it was probably 3 or 4 hours. It wasn't
Okay.
really far, but anyway,
Well, that's
it was
exciting.
soon after that we were engaged and married.
Okay.
So we lived in West Virginia from there because
Okay.
that's where he was a student.
Okay, so you moved to West Virginia. Did you work there, or what kind of work were you doing there in West Virginia?
Well, when we first went there, I got a job couldn't get a job as a lab technician because there were no hospitals around that really needed one.
Okay.
But I got a job teaching bacteriology lab at the university. So I did that while he was in school there. Then later on, after we left there, we went to a little coal mining town where he worked as a mining engineer.
Okay.
We stayed in West Virginia for about 10 years. By then we had 2 children,
Okay.
and the son had asthma, and we needed to get him to a warmer climate. And West Virginia, it didn't look too promising to stay in West Virginia anyway. We thought we needed to go somewhere else. So we decided we'd take a vacation and go to Florida and see what we thought.
Great.
So we went to Florida, and on vacation I got a job as a teacher, and he interviewed for jobs at the Space Center. This was very early in the Space Center, 1957.
Okay.
So he got a job with the Space Center at Cape Canaveral
Right.
Missile Test Center.
Oh my goodness.
Now this was several years before NASA came in.
Okay.
NASA was completely a different operation.
Okay.
But I mean, we all worked towards the same thing, but
Yes.
he worked with the 7 original astronauts.
Oh my
He
goodness.
knew all of them.
Wow, that's exciting. The very beginning of the space
The
age.
very beginning of the space age.
Wow, that's exciting.
So,
Those were some great men there. Wow.
yeah.
Well, so the climate was much better for your son. Is that correct?
Oh yes, he was
Yeah.
fine once we got there.
Good, good. And you have a daughter also?
I have a daughter. My daughter is older. She was the first child, and then the son. My daughter is, well, she's retired now. But she majored in art. She
Okay.
taught art in high school. And she did other jobs in Kentucky after they moved there.
Okay.
And she's retired now.
Okay.
She lives in Kentucky.
Okay.
My son, who we took to Florida because we needed him in a warmer climate,
Yeah.
once he got out of college and married, moved to Pennsylvania.
Oh, another cold place.
Another cold place,
Well.
even colder.
Yes. Well, I tell you, we're going to take a quick break for commercials, and we'll come right back and talk some more with Miss Evans.
Recycling, it's nothing new, but how many of us actually do it? What's the point? Every time you toss out something that could be recycled, you're throwing away money. Recyclables are valuable, and when items like these are recycled, they are sold to businesses and made into new products. Alabama's recycling industry employs thousands of people, and more recycling equals more jobs, which equals more money put back in your local economy. See, recycling just makes sense. Let us show you how recycling works in and for Alabama.
Hey y'all, Jim Green from TV47. You can now catch us on the internet. We're streaming live at TV47.tv. All of our great programming, whether it's Daybreak with Jimmy Dale, Matt Coulter, and Around the Track with Matt, or I'll be on with Coosa Valley Magazine and a whole lot more too, right here at TV47, now TV47.tv on the internet. Whatever device, you can watch us right there at TV47.tv.
In Alabama, finding a place you and your family will love comes naturally at any one of our beautiful state parks, where you can stay and play. Alabama state parks provide opportunities for adventure on the water, in the woods, and even just hanging around. Whether you want to explore the foothills of the Appalachians or wade into the warm waters of the Gulf, Alabama is a natural delight. To learn more, call 800-ALAPARK or visit alapark.com.
Hello and welcome back to Library Connection. I'm Mandi Cantrell. I'm talking with a great friend of the library, Miss Thelma Evans. She helps with our brown bags and all kinds of other things. We're talking about her life now. We've gotten as far as you were in Florida, and I know you have a medical technology degree, but you've also taught biology in college, and now you're in Florida getting your master's degree?
Yes.
In education. And said you taught several different grades.
I did. I taught elementary, I've taught middle school, different grades.
All right. Did you enjoy that?
Oh yes, I enjoyed my older students better.
Really, yeah.
I mean, it takes a special person to work with the little ones. I like to work with the older ones.
It takes some of all of us, doesn't it, to
Yes.
do those different things. Now, you said you went back, you got your master's degree, and you taught in the classroom, but then you were in administration.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yes. You were a principal.
Yes.
What size school? What age?
Well, it was an elementary school, grades K through 6, with about 1,500 students.
Oh my goodness,
The schools were big.
that's a large school. I know that was fun is the word, challenging, I'm sure.
I would think challenging is more than fun.
Yeah, for 21 years, I
Yes.
believe. Yes. Now, no, during part of this time, you were telling me y'all had exchange students. Was this when
our students were when our children were in high school, we had exchange students. When our daughter was a senior, when our daughter was a junior, we had our first exchange students, a girl from Thailand.
Okay.
Then when our daughter was a senior, we had our next student, a girl from Italy.
Okay.
And then when our son was a senior, we had a boy from Brazil.
Wow. Okay.
So it was a very rewarding experience for us and our children.
That is a great program. We have some foreign exchange students in town. I don't know if we have any right now, but in the past, people I know have had.
Yeah, these came for the whole school year. They were there I know some come over for 3 months or something like that, but all of ours were for the whole school year.
Wow. And you still stay in touch with them?
Yes, we do. In fact, the boy from Brazil and the girl from Thailand have both visited us here.
Oh, my goodness. And that's been a few years ago.
Oh, that was a few years ago, yes.
Right. Now, have you been to visit any of them?
Oh, yes. We've visited all of them.
Oh, wow.
Now, my husband worked for Pan American World Airways, and of course, we could fly at a cheaper rate.
Oh,
so we got to travel a lot. That was one advantage of working for Pan Am. We did visit all of our students, and we visited their families in their country.
That is nice for both sets of parents to get to meet, who've taken care of the child. That's exciting. That is exciting. I know you said you took your children traveling. Like you said, you could get good rates on flying, and so you took advantage of that to take your children several places to visit.
We took our children to several different countries. I mean, we'd go to Europe, we'd go to Brazil, we'd go to Asia. Every summer, while our children were at home with us before they were married, we would go on vacation abroad somewhere. Wow. So it was interesting for them and for us.
That's a great experience to do that together as a family.
To do it together, yes.
That is wonderful. Now, you said you and your husband retired at 62,
yes,
I believe. And then what? You both worked all your life?
Well, we had worked, and we had both worked up until then. So when we retired, we really didn't we traveled a lot. Yeah. The children were gone by then, and out of college even. So we still traveled a lot, and we needed something to do when we were at home. So we decided we had a community college there in the community and in the town, and we decided to take some classes from there. One of the classes we thought we would like was basket weaving. Oh. So we took the basket weaving class, and we both liked that.
Great.
So I kept making baskets. Well, we did together for a while. We would make baskets and give them to people, or
wonderful gifts, something home that you made yourself.
We made ourselves. If somebody really liked something, we'd make them a basket. but we never sold a basket. We don't sell baskets.
Okay, just gifts from your heart there, from your hands.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we have a few because now you teach a basket class, don't you?
I do teach a basket class from my garage in my house, and it's interesting because I had decided I would teach a basket class because a friend of mine wanted me to teach her how, and I thought, well, if we're going to do this, we'll do it for more. Right. Well, last year I had to stay in the hospital for a while. My son was here from Pennsylvania, and he brought a picture to the hospital one day to show me where he had set my garage up for my classroom. Oh. He had all the tables and chairs set up there, and I said, oh, it looks just like a classroom.
Well, good. Put you right at home, right?
Put me right at home, and I already had a lot of materials that I had over the years, enough to get us started.
Good.
So once we got into it, we have some baskets that we can show you now.
Let me show. This one is from 1998, I believe. You said the date is on the bottom.
That's the one I made in 1998.
That is beautiful with the different color, different shading. It's very pretty.
They age as they get older, of course, and the colors fade, but you can still see the difference in the colors.
Yes, so pretty now.
And I have a little egg basket here that I made several years ago, and that's just a different style of basket. Here's one of the handles. We can do we do different designs on the handles, or you don't have to do any design at all.
Right.
We have a basket here that...
oh, now you and I love this one.
Orange and blue.
Orange and blue.
My Auburn basket.
Let's put it here in the middle so they can see. Yeah, see the
That's
colors.
my Auburn basket.
That's so pretty. And this has just the wooden handle.
It just has the wooden handle that is not decorated.
Beautiful, beautiful.
This is the basket that one of my students made. I have some of the students, of course,
let's bring it right here in the middle.
Like anything else, some students are better than others, or more dedicated, I would say, than others. This is one of my students that really is into basket making, and I think she'll just continue because, this is called God's Eye.
Oh, okay.
The way it's connected,
Looks
the handle
difficult.
is connected. It is difficult. The handle is also difficult. That's an arrow weave.
Okay.
And it takes some patience to do a basket like this.
I think it does.
I have done a basket like that.
Yeah, you don't just sit down in a day and make a basket.
Oh, you don't sit. They worked for weeks on that.
Really?
I had 2 students that did that basket.
Oh, my.
And it took a few weeks. You don't do it in a day.
No, I'm sure it's beautiful. And this one?
This is an Easter basket that I made for one of my granddaughters in 1996.
Okay.
You take the material, and this is made from the same material that the rest of the basket is. You just wet it so that it's pliable, and then you make your curls around there. I do my own dyeing. Of course, this one has faded because it's old, but I do my own dyeing and work the colors in where I want them to be. I don't know. Some of my baskets are like this one, are just all one color. But if you want to put color in to spice them up a little, you can get the reed that's already colored, or you can do your own. And I think this is a different style handle here. The 2 pieces are woven together here with that. So there are different ways of doing the handles. Of course, there's all kinds of different patterns for different baskets.
Yeah.
And the girls, I have 6.
Okay.
We come on Friday afternoon around 1:30 or 2 o'clock. And in the beginning, we were leaving about 4 or 5. Sometimes we leave about 8 or 9.
Oh.
It depends on what they're doing and how interested they are in it, and if they don't want, if it's at a place where they don't want to stop, they want to get it done, or they want to get it finished for a gift,
Right.
then they stay late and do it.
Well, you're very gracious to have your home for that, open for that and invite these ladies over. That's great.
Well, I have this big garage, and now that everything's out, I would accept my car.
Yeah.
We have lots of room.
Good, good. We're going to take another quick commercial break, and we'll be right back to talk some more.
Becoming a driver can be an exciting time for a teen, but it can also be challenging. And at very worst, deadly. Alabama ranks 5th in the number of teens killed in motor vehicle crashes every year. It's the leading cause of death among 16 to 24-year-olds. Alabama's graduated driver license law places restrictions on young drivers to help ensure their safety. Parents, know the law, enforce the law, and be a good example. Remember, the life you save may be your child's.
Hey, Sylacauga, I'm Dr. Gina, and I want you to join me live every weeknight, Monday through Friday, right here on Channel 47 on the world's first social television show, and it's going to be all about you, whether it's presidential politics or Deflategate. If it's trending, we're going to be talking about it. I want you to join me live every Monday through Friday on Channel 47. Don't miss it. America Trends with Dr. Gina, Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. right here on Channel 47. See you then.
Hey Birmingham, it's your favorite girlfriend, Ebony Steele, back in my hometown. My show, Coffee with America, is now on WOIL TV 47 4 days a week. Catch me and Sasha Rianda Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 8 a.m. You can also see us Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. We're bringing you the latest in lifestyle, food, entertainment, you name it. We'll see you soon.
Hello and welcome back to Library Connection. I'm Mandi Cantrell. I've been talking with Mrs. Thelma Evans. We've had a great time discussing all the baskets you've made and the life you've lived. Now, I think where we left off, you were living in Florida and said you and your husband retired and started making baskets and traveling and doing other things. What happened after that? Because I know you didn't stay in Florida.
No, after a few years, we retired at 62, and then we moved back here when we were about 85, or in the early 80s anyway. I mean, not 80, 75.
70s,
75.
okay, yeah.
The reason we moved back we decided to leave Florida is, well, our children were grown, married, and moved to other states. We didn't have anybody, we really didn't have any relatives in Florida.
Okay.
So we thought, we own property in Alabama. We even considered moving to Pennsylvania or Kentucky, where our daughter was. But then we would go there and decide it's too cold. We don't want to be back in that cold climate.
No.
So we thought about Alabama. We own property in Alabama because this is where I grew up, and we have 4 seasons here. I like that. We didn't have that in Florida. We have mountains here. I like mountains.
Oh, good.
And we have rivers. Of course, we had rivers there too, but we didn't have the mountains. We didn't have the 4 seasons. We decided we'd come back here. So we moved back here in 1999. We built a house on the property where we have really enjoyed our stay in Alabama. We think we made a good move. My husband loved it here. He was from West Virginia, but he loved Alabama.
Good, good.
And he loved having coffee with his friends.
Oh, yeah.
So every Tuesday morning, he met O.J. Mooney and R.C. Wakefield for coffee.
Oh, how fun.
And if we were on vacation in Pennsylvania, Kentucky, or wherever, we had to be back in time to be here Tuesday morning for coffee. We couldn't miss that.
Oh, how fun, how fun.
Well, and now that I'm here, let's go to the hobby.
Yes, tell me what other things you're involved in. You're retired, moved back to Sylacauga, but you're a very active and busy lady.
Well, I had to be busy. You have to stay busy. I can't just sit around and do nothing.
Right.
So both of us were very active in the church, Grimes Chapel Baptist Church.
Okay.
I teach a Sunday school class there. I think I've taught it for about 15 years now.
Okay.
I belong to the Alpha Delta Kappa sorority.
For teachers. Yeah.
For teachers.
Great. Good.
And I'm interested in I'm really interested in the Marble Festival. I always looked at that marble when I was growing up, and even there were big blocks of marble by the side of the railroad tracks down there near where you go into the overlook that my mother said were there when she was a little girl.
Oh my goodness.
They're still there, those big blocks of marble.
Wow.
But anyway, I'm interested in my husband and I were both very interested in the marble, in this Marble Festival. So we always took advantage of that.
I see you're wearing your marble heart.
I'm wearing
like
my marble
ones that
heart,
Krager
yes.
makes. Yes, they're beautiful.
And I have other hobbies. I like to paint. Mm-hmm. And I'm not as good at that as I used to be because I'm a little shakier now that I'm older. Okay. But I have done quite a bit of painting. I still enjoy the basket weaving and teaching my class there. I'm involved in the brown bag program at the library. I enjoy bringing my out-of-town visitors to the overlook, to the library. This is the nicest library I have ever been in for a town this size.
Well, thank you very much.
Can't believe what a wonderful library there is here and all the activities that they have going on.
Well, we thank you, and we appreciate people like you that help us.
It's a worthy cause.
Yes, it is. It is. And I've met some of your family as you brought them in for a tour, I believe.
Oh, I always bring them when they come.
Good, good.
Yeah, my son is here a lot. He comes real often to visit me. He's, I think, semi-retired. He works sometimes, and he fishes more than he works. But and
that's okay.
He fishes and plays golf, but he works occasionally.
Well, good, good. Now, you also said you're a member of the Coosa County Cattle Women's Association. What is that?
Well, that is a group of ladies in Coosa County that don't necessarily have to own cattle, but most of them are affiliated with, well, maybe their husband owns cattle or they're friends. I mean, it's...
have an interest in.
It's... Another thing we do when the Coosa County Cattle Men, we do programs for them to raise money. Like they'll have a bake sale and they'll auction off our cakes or something. One of mine brought over $100 one time.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
It was the caramel.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. God.
But what we did mostly was we raised money in different ways for cancer funds.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, our time is almost up, but Miss Evans, I just appreciate you so much coming and doing this interview and letting other people know what a good friend we have. And I would encourage you to come to the Brown Bag, especially come at 11 for the time of snacks and social hour, and have a piece of your caramel cake.
Well, if it's there.
If there's any left, you got to come early. Thank you so much, though, for coming, and I appreciate you joining us on Library Connections.
But thank you for asking.